What was I expecting tonight? Anything but that. And yeah, before I show you guys my notes, I just think it would be best if I showed you my live reaction of the pick as it happened. And just want to clarify something. I was really mad when we took Patrick Surtain um, 4 years ago at this point. So let's hope I'm wrong one more time because I had it live while I was recording. So yeah.
All right. With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Baron, DB, Texas.
What the? It's no secret that I was a little surprised, and right now I'm still not the biggest fan of this pick. I was actually going to say that till the end, but I gave this pick a B minus. But I'm not here to talk about that. We'll get into all the philosophies of this. I'm just here to enjoy our shiny new defensive backfield toy that Sean Payton's absolutely going to fall in love with. Sean Payton, George Payton did fall in love with. Vance Joseph is going to love, and Jim Leonard is going to love as well. So, talking about Jahdae Baron as a recruit, so he was a really, really highly regarded prospect in the recruiting process in the 2020 class. He was a four-star recruit from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that high school, Fluggerville Connolly, if I had to guess, in Austin. He was actually the 10th ranked cornerback in the class and the 20th ranked Texas player as well. He was an all Big 12 second team in 2023 and the Jim Thorpe Award winner in 2024. So obviously he took that next step his final year. He was a fifth-year senior. He was actually supposed to declare for the draft, or he could have declared for the draft in 2023. But, with COVID rules and regulations and everything like that, he got that extra year of eligibility. So he decided to stay at Texas and, potentially go on a playoff run and become a legend there as well. So with Jahdae Baron, he's known for his physicality, his motor, and his football intelligence, which, I mean, that's why he was projected to go so early. Like, he was projected to go early, but he fell to us. And honestly, I felt like looking at mock drafts, his range was anywhere from like 13 to 19. So we were kind of on the outside of his range and everything like that. And what I will say is that Jahdae Baron on most teams is a cornerback one. Like, everything about his film was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really, really excited that we have a guy like him on our roster. And one of the things that's really exciting about him is that he's not a mismatch no matter who you line up him up against. He can cover running backs, he can cover wide receivers, he can cover tight ends, and he played a lot of snaps, in the box as well. So I'm expecting the Broncos to be amazing in dime next year, and I'm expecting us to deploy a lot of dime next year, which is where you have a bunch of defensive backs on the field as well. And yeah, overall, I think his ability to be physical against the run is a standout trait, and that's something we were really missing from our defensive backfield last year, particularly from the safety position. Like, I liked Moss's physicality. Obviously, we know Jaquan McMillan is a physical guy. Patrick Surtain's a very willing tackler as well, but Jahdae Baron is a legit playmaker when it comes to that regard as well. So I've kind of yapped enough as far as my overview on him. Let's watch some film. All right, so I did move my face cam to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and yeah, you're gonna see right here. You'll see actually Jahdae Baron matched up with Colston Loveland. He's able to follow Loveland in motion right there. And one of the things I really like about Baron's game is just watch him. He seamlessly, effortlessly was able to peel onto Colston Loveland. Like, watch it one more time. Full speed, boom. Like, did just such a great job of defending Colston Loveland right there. So once again, he can cover tight ends. He can cover, running backs. He's not afraid of any matchup, and that's one thing that's really tantalizing about him. McCarthy sails the ball into the end zone. You're gonna love this. Okay, watch Jahdae Baron right here. He's gonna be right here, and he's going to basically set the perimeter. I can't remember who this is against. I think Oklahoma, based on the uniforms, but just watch him. Like, this shows you that he is not afraid in run defense. So receiver comes around, takes HB toss, and then just watch him. Watch him up there at the top of your screen. Boom. I know that the cut up wasn't exactly great, but the quality is not exactly great with that one, but let's go back and watch it one more time. Full speed. Jahdae Baron up here. Boom. Absolutely baller stuff from our new defensive back. This is another one that we got against Michigan, and once again, you're just going to love the instincts right here. So he notices that there's somebody coming across the formation right here, even though he was all the way lined up on the other slot side of the field. He is playing the wide zone corner right here. I believe they're in cover three, or no, they're not in cover three. But either way, you're gonna watch him peel back over here and just do such a great job of recognizing it. Now, Michigan actually does complete the play right there, but that's just because, their offense made a play. Wasn't very common to see Michigan make a play in the passing game last year. This is another clip that we got of Jahdae Baron right here. And once again, sets the edge, or at least sets the perimeter outside in a run. And yeah, not scared of, I think that's Edwards. Yeah. So is able to take him down with relative ease. Once again, just an absolute dog in these situations, man. I'm really excited for him. Like, even though I think we should have gone elsewhere, I'm really excited for him. Yeah, this is a clip against Alabama from last year before he had switched to number 7. And once again, just does a phenomenal job in zone coverage to realize that there's something going on right here in the middle of the field. Boom, picked off. Like, let's watch that one more time. Realizes that he's supposed to have inside leverage and just reads the eyes of the quarterback so well. And once again, a battle-tested guy in the SEC, it's never, ever a bad idea. To be completely honest, so boom. Picks him off right there. Got some nice yak, too, on that return. So, looking at his draft profile, he was the cornerback 1 on the NFL mock database big board, and I think a lot of this is because as the process went on, a lot of the guys mocked really highly, like Maxwell Harrison and Will Johnson, ended up completely falling. Harrison went to number 30, or he went to Buffalo at number 30, and Will Johnson is still on the board as I'm making this video at 11:30 p.m. on Thursday night after round 1. But yeah, so before the combine, a lot of people were really in on Jahdae Baron. A lot of people had him mocked as high as number 5 to Jacksonville or as high as number 6 to the Raiders. But I think as time went on, a lot of people realized that those teams were going to go in other directions as well. But, over the past week or so, the main thing I could find was that his range was basically perceived to be Miami at number 13, and his absolute floor was Green Bay at number 23. And the Broncos, they came out and they said that they were not expecting him to be there at number 20. And honestly, I didn't see many mocks where he made it past the Cardinals at number 16. So I think his absolute lowest floor was Green Bay at number 23 as well. Regardless, he was number 10 on the Daniel Jeremiah big board and number 20 on Mel Kiper's big board as well. So Jahdae Baron is just an absolute athlete. Like, look at that 8.79 relative athletic score. I think if he was a little bigger, then he probably would have tested well, and I think his RAS would have been a lot bigger as well. But size is a big component of it, so yeah. But what is really exciting is the 4.39 speed, like legit 4.39 speed right there as well. 9.93 relative athletic score, 4.39 40-yard dash, 20-yard split 2.56, 10-yard split 1.55, and he has a 35-inch vert. And yeah, overall, I think his athleticism is really good for the position, especially because looking at him, he can develop into like a smaller version of Kyle Hamilton if all goes right, who can play more on the outside, and that's really exciting for this coaching staff as well. So his play style, he's a very mentally gifted defender. Like when you watch him, he is just so polished, and he's so smart, and I feel like he knows what the offense is going to do better than the offense does. And he's going to fit in so well with our defensive backfield because guys like Leonard, guys like Vance Joseph, when they're trying to coach him up, he's just going to get it. He's just going to get a lot of the concepts. And yeah, so with those wide receivers, good luck. Good luck in practice. If we end up taking one tomorrow, I think we will end up taking one somewhere. But oh boy, I think you're going to have a rough time in practice against Patrick Surtain, Riley Moss, Jahdae Baron now, and Jaquan McMillan. Chris Abrams-Drain is now our cornerback 5. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yes, he understands the intricacies of high football IQ and leverage. He consistently puts himself in the right position to make plays and pass breakups. He allowed a 46.6% or 46.6 passer rating in zone. He's very stout against the run, and he's not scared of any opposing running back. And one thing that really stuck out to me was Todd McShay said that he was so incredible, one of the best ever at forcing PBUs and knockouts, even if he gets there a hair late. So he knows how to go for the ball. He knows how to swat it away. A few of the red flags about him, why he wasn't like a perfect prospect or anything like that, is because I think he was 5'10 and a half, so he may not truly have the size to, compete with the DK Metcalfs of the world, the Michael Pittmans of the world, just big-bodied X receivers, even guys like Teteroa McMillan, who got taken earlier tonight. But yeah, he might not have the size to win game-long battles against big-bodied receivers, but you know who does? you know who does? Patrick Surtain and Riley Moss, I believe, is pretty big in his own right as well. And sometimes he does have a hesitancy on his break throws to football, but you know what? That's something that I think Jim Leonard will be able to coach out of him as well. So looking at his advanced stats, this is actually from Patrick Chiotti. Thank you, Patrick Chiotti, once again for having me on Let's Talk Broncos Engage 8 on Tuesday night. Jahdae Baron allowed 284 yards in 2024, 131 yards after the catch. That is a remarkable number, especially for a corner in the SEC. Was targeted 68 times and allowed 37 catches. 5 interceptions, 9 PBUs, and allowed a passer rating of 34.2. Did you hear me? 34.2. And that is in the SEC. That is in the NFL's minor league. And he took snaps all over the field. They got another one. So looking at his positional versatility, he took 12 snaps as literally on the Dean line last year. 142 in the box, 122 at slot, 679 as a wide corner, and 15 at free safety. So he can play anywhere. He can play literally anywhere you line him up. And I think one thing that's important to know is that this is important because, you know, if you signed Hufanga with the idea that he is ideally, I think, your box safety, and then Brandon Jones can be the roamer, or vice versa. It's going to be interesting to see how those guys are deployed. But Hufanga is not a guarantee. And if something happens to him, then you have Jahdae Baron in waiting. You have Jahdae Baron in waiting, and you have a very, very deep secondary. So why was Baron the pick? Honestly, you can never go wrong with BPA up and down the draft. Situations change fast in the NFL. You know, knock on wood, maybe a guy like, maybe one of your corners isn't available for a game or two, and suddenly your depth is pretty thin again, you know, and you are one injury away from having that disastrous month of December once again. So I get it. I get it as well. Situations in the modern NFL change fast. Like J-Mac may not come back. Chris Ames Drain, let's just say that he, I don't know, forces his way off the team. I know that's never going to happen. But listen, all I'm trying to say is situations change really fast. And listen, I love Riley Moss and Jaquan McMillan. If you couldn't tell by the jersey I have in the backfield, but Baron has the chance to be a more impactful player. There's a reason this guy was consistently talked about as like a top 15 pick, almost consensus borderline, until he fell to us at number 20. And Baron, under the coaching of Sean Payton, Vance Joseph, and Jim Leonard, can develop into quite the defensive chess piece. I've seen a lot of people say mini Kyle Hamilton, and honestly, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, and the versatility and upside of a guy like that, very, very exciting. And listen, the Broncos are thing is amazing defensive back play. So we've had amazing defensive backs throughout our tenure, like Bailey, Atwater, Patrick Surtain, Aqib Talib, Chris Harris Jr., a bunch of others who I'm not even naming, and a bunch of others who didn't fit on my notes. But yeah, the identity of the Broncos historically is standout secondary talent. And you know what? The league's best secondary just got better. Like, that's all I have to say about that. And I genuinely, okay, a lot of people might not agree with me on this one, but I genuinely think they got sniped on Emeka Egbuka by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they didn't think that Baron would be there. And I guess they were just like, all right, screw it. Let's just go BPA. And they couldn't find an exit plan. You know, George Payton talked about how last year they had an exit plan for literally every pick in the draft, but that ultimately didn't happen this year. So here are my reservations. This is why I'm kind of lukewarm on this pick. So this defense under Payton and Vance Joseph, it has not needed a high level of draft investment to play well. And honestly, if we were going to give it a high level of draft investment, I would have taken defensive line 100%. I think it would have just been so much smarter. You know, the Philadelphia Eagles formula, it's timeless. It's proven to be timeless, especially because they slayed 2 giants in the past 7 years between the Patriots and the Chiefs and stopped 2 three-peats. So yes, it is a timeless formula. Like, I know the NFL is cyclical, and, you know, 1 year something may happen that like is different, and a team might try to copy it. But regardless, trenches is just never, ever, ever a bad idea. And trenches, I mean, there's a reason they get paid the big bucks. Trenches is probably the second most important part of fielding a football team, whether it's O-line, whether it's D-line, because if you can protect or rush the quarterback, you're doing a lot of things right. I'm not saying we should have gone offensive line. Absolutely not with that pick as well. But interior defensive line, that would have been my pick. And Harmon was my number 1 choice for the Broncos throughout this whole process. You know, I've been spamming on this channel. I've been spamming on my friends' channels. I've been spamming in Twitter, on my YouTube comments, that I really wanted the Broncos to go interior defensive line. But Derek Harmon was picked one pick later by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, I also would have preferred Henderson and Hampton, even if there's still nice running back talent available in round 2. It's showing that we could have waited on a guy like Trevion Henderson, but regardless, yeah, overall, I think that those guys probably would have been better contributors, or at least made more sense to me than the Jahdae Baron pick as well. Is using a first rounder to bolster the NFL's best secondary over extrapolating resources? I mean, maybe. Because even without Baron, who did we have? Surtain, Moss, J-Mac, Chris Abrams-Drain, Brandon Jones, Talanoa Hufanga. That, like, starting tandem, those are the guys who ideally would have been starting for us. And, Chris Abrams-Drain obviously being the rotational piece there. Um, but yeah, that was pretty good. Now you add a guy like Baron to the mix. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What should I do if it lasts longer than 4 hours? No, I'm kidding. But here's what the Broncos had to say about the pick. So Sean Payton and George Payton, they said they couldn't stop watching Jahdae Baron film leading up to their draft prep. And also, George Payton said he did not expect Baron to be there at pick number 20. I don't think a lot of teams did. I think that a lot of teams, of in the back half who actually wanted to go defensive back, like I think Buffalo would have been a perfect trade up candidate for Baron if they thought he could have been that difference maker as well. But George Payton also said they considered running back in that range, but it was more of a trade back scenario, meaning that they were probably more likely to move back in this draft. And, Baron, by Sean Payton, he said he's an A-plus learner. And Sean Payton also said that Baron asked to be put on speakerphone after being picked to thank the whole war room. All right, that's enough yapping for me. How about we watch an interview from him? All right, this is actually from Jahdae Baron's combine interview. I don't want to show the full thing because I'll probably get copyright struck, but here's a few sound bites from him. He's just so intelligent. He's just such a well-spoken individual, and I can see why this front office and regime fell in love with him.
And understanding Coach Sark's scheme. Me and Ryan, we're different sizes, but when I played the boundary, most definitely I watched a lot of his tape, got his movement on how he taxied, moved around the ball and things like that. Ryan was very smart with his taxi, just showing different looks and playing something else. So that's what I took from Ryan and a lot of his game, and Ryan was a big physical corner. I'm not as big as Ryan, but I do take the aspect of being physical. Yes. It was amazing, amazing experience growing up in Austin, obviously, so close to home. It'd be a crazy feeling to obviously put that star on, but it had a great interview.
All right, so once again, you can just see great kid, and I can see why this regime fell in love with him as well. Listen, I am mildly disappointed. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but I am stoked to see Baron in the orange and blue. I'm not concerned about the player, but I am concerned about the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of this is, your 3 biggest needs heading into the draft, in my opinion: interior defensive line, tight end, and running back. You sacrifice one of those, and unfortunately now you are going to basically have to, trot out a 4th round pick at best at one of those positions. Even if it's a developmental guy, I just don't really agree with going cornerback at this spot. But it's just also really hard for me to get over the fact that Harmon was right there. And I just think trenches would have been smarter. I just think that, building the trenches is just the way to win in football. It always has been. I think it always will be. And listen, I was really mad when we took Patrick Surtain over Fields. Actually, here's my reaction of that as well, and my friends' reactions on that draft night.
The Denver Broncos select Pat Surtain, Jr., defensive back.
So yeah, here's to hoping I look like a fool again. My overall grade, I have it as a B minus, but having a potential no-fly zone 2.0, it's extremely exciting. I just can't get over the fact that we, used our 1st round pick on one of the strongest parts of our roster. But you know what, Baron, welcome to Broncos country. I absolutely am going to love you. I'm going to adore you here, provided you do all the right things, but I'm sure you will. So in Sean and George, we trust. But yeah, that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Mala salute.